when you start, Michelle will start the clock.
I'm sure you all know how the kombucha market's been growing. It went from practically non-existent to over $900 million this year. And it's still growing and projected to keep growing at a 25% rate a year. But this is only part of a bigger trend towards low-calorie drinks. The sugar-free drink market is today over $3 billion and projected to keep growing. As customers start to care about the health effects of what they drink, companies start to answer that call. The American Beverage Association, together with companies like Coca-Cola, PepsiCo, and Dr. Pepper, are pushing a balanced calories initiative and intend to lower on a 20% the calorie content in their drinks by 2025. However, changing their formulas to artificial sweeteners is not enough for customers. 84% of people think that they want to reduce sugar intake, but 65% of people think that sweeteners coming from natural sources are better than artificial. Even more, 2 out of 3 people think that sugar coming from fruits is healthier. This seems to paint the perfect scenario for a drink like kombucha, that's low calorie and sweetened naturally. However, when we started to make our research, things were very different. I'm sure you all know people who are crazy about kombucha, but chances are you also know some that are not. As we started reading, phrases caught our attention. Spoiled cider, nobody drinks kombucha because of taste, even carbonated vinegar tell us that even though kombucha market is selling and they're giving us all these health claims, they're not addressing an important issue. At Intea Kombucha, we think things can be different. By changing traditional fermentation processes and using only the best ingredients, we've developed a product that stands up as easy to drink. So easy that you've all been drinking it all along. We have a product that has a fresh flavor and taste. And we want to make sure we bring you something that not only helps your health, it also you want to drink it. And we don't stop there. We want to make sure every time you hold a bottle of Intea, you have a smile on your face. Whether because you love our product, because you're enjoying it while doing your favorite outdoor activity or hanging out with friends, or because you're sure you're supporting your local community.
So we've come a long way since our first homebrewed kombucha back in April. We tasted it and we thought we had something great, but we really needed to hear what others thought. So we spent all summer long making kombucha and bringing it to events at OSU and in the local Corvallis community. After continued positive feedback, we decided we could really make something of this business. Along the way, we met Pastiga Distributors, a local distributor that has 300 plus accounts in the Willamette Valley area. This is one of the major challenges that beverage manufacturers face, is getting their product in front of consumers. So fortunately, we're working on building a strong relationship there. Additionally, we're looking at identifying local suppliers. So currently, we're working with Batavia Tea Company to tremendously reduce the cost of our materials. So
we project our sales to grow at 100% rate per year. If everything goes as planned, we would be selling over $1 million or over $500,000 on year 3. But with the right resources, we can do way beyond that. We've estimated what we need to get there.
We've estimated what we need to get there, and by the end of year 3, we should have $500,000 in sales. We've also based our sales projections off of Kavita Kombucha Company, which recently sold to PepsiCo for $200 million. We estimate that we need 5 years of growth to reach an equivalent sales volume. So in order to make this happen, we've identified our needs over the next 3 years. In year 1, what we really want to do is invest in a brewing space. This will require an initial investment of $20,000, but in order to really grow, we would need $50,000. We're working with local companies to see if we can use shared brewing space, which would cut the costs of having a dedicated facility. In year 2, we would like to hire a team in order to grow our distribution based on our operational needs. We'll continue to build our relationship with our local distributor, Pastiga, and address the ready-to-drink market. Additionally, as food scientists, we'll continue to innovate our own product. We'll get feedback from kombucha drinkers and come up with a line of novel offerings. We already have some things in the works, but I'm not ready to share them with you just yet. In year 3, we will invest in a dedicated sales and marketing team. This will really allow us to grow outside of Oregon. We'll also continue to build our relationship with local and national distributors and innovate product through consumer and sensory testing. But this is only possible with a great team. On our team, we have Brent, who is a faculty research assistant at OSU. He also brings over 12 years of experience in the beverage industry. We have Rodrigo, who is a master's student in industrial engineering here, although he has a lot of experience managing his family business and is getting a minor in business. We have Maria, who is pursuing a master's in food science with a focus on microbiology. And then myself, another master's student in food science, except I'm focusing on beer quality and raw ingredient quality. I also bring 2 years of experience in the brewing industry at a national craft brewery. But we also recognize that we need help from people who are experts in their field. That's why we have Dr. Goddick from Food Science Department at OSU. She is an extension specialist and a professor. And we also have Sarah Massoni, Steve Larson, and Carter Barty, the head of Pastiga Distribution. So with that, I appreciate you spending time with us this evening, and I hope the next time you reach for a kombucha, it's in tea.
Okay, judges, you got 5 minutes.
First of all, great presentation, and this pineapple is absolutely delicious.
Oh,
This is a great product, so well done. I live in Bend, Oregon, which, as you know, is the capital of kombucha companies. And so I guess my question to you would be, there are a number of kombucha companies that have had a head start on you guys, like Hum and Caboose and some others. How would you say that your brand strategy and your product strategy is going to compete with them in the marketplace?
So there is one thing I can say to that. Just in speaking with our local distributor, they have tried to work with some other companies in the past, and customer service is really important to them, as well as that relationship and finding a good fit. And they feel like, we are that good fit for them, and they're willing to invest. They're willing to give us all their contacts who are national distributors, and they actually have a long history distributing for PepsiCo in the area. So we feel like that's going to be a really good hold for us.
And I don't want to brag, but we've had a bit of an experience with possible customers. One of them is Western Oregon University. They sampled our product a couple of months ago, not too different from what you have in front of you right now. And immediately they said they were willing to drop their current kombucha supplier and change it with us. So we really expect the quality of our product will be something that we can put in front of us and let talk for us.
So why kombucha as opposed to any other specialty fermented drink?
I guess this brings the part of accident that any business has. The truth is, we bought kombucha, as you can guess, we're not from the United States. We have a tiny little accent. And I've never had heard of kombucha before moving here. I bought one bottle over a year ago, around there. And after my first bottle, I decided, how hard can this be? I'm a microbiologist. If other people can do it, Sure, I can. I brewed a first batch, 1 gallon, on top of my kitchen counter, and we gave that to some friends. And I think after that first batch, we knew something was going on. Many people brew kombucha. It's completely foolproof to do at home. But we've always gotten comments saying, what you have is different. And I'm not sure how much of it is that we have the right skills, which I think we do. But we have been developing something from the very start.
We've taken in a lot of customer feedback, and we've been tweaking the product all along the way.
And when we tried other kombuchas, they were not very good. So trying to create a quality product was our initial also objective.
So in the growth strategy and sort of capital needs, I mean, my reaction was that the numbers still on the capital investment that you need year to year are awfully low. And I was just wondering where those numbers came from, and how will you respond if you need a lot more capital than you think?
So I think we started working on that after we first met with Steve Larson. He's the owner of Trios Winery, but he also is in the advisory board for Two Towns Cider House. And he walked us through what was the process of building Two Towns. He told us their initial investment was $70,000 and broke down the prices for us. Fortunately, we've been talking with other companies, and we found some commercial space they're willing to share, and that immediately drops the investment we need almost to half.
Also, the equipment needed for kombucha is not as expensive as for beer or cider. They really need this
Stainless steel tanks, yeah.
So for kombucha, we don't need those expensive equipments. We can work with some more plastic containers, and that makes much more cheaper the investment required. After we visit Ham Kombucha and Brew Doctor to see how they were working, to have an idea of how we should do the process.
Great presentation. It seems like your success is heavily dependent upon protecting your secret sauce, which in this case is your recipe and I guess the process for making the kombucha. What are you doing to protect that?
Well, we are already protecting the brand. We already submit a trademark registration that month. And about the kombucha and how to create it, it's a microbiology process.
Oh, let's point to microbiologist. I don't want to get too nerdy into this, but kombucha is unlike other fermented products. It's not fermented by a single organism. It's not like bread that you just dump yeast or wine or beer. It's an extremely complex environment with over 100 of different species interacting, and much of what we have in terms of flavor and product had to do with how we've grown that culture, the conditions we've worked it in, and it's, I would like to say, completely impossible to copy.
Time's up. Time goes so quickly when you're having fun. Nice
Thank you very
job.
much.
Thank you.